Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! Yeah, we about to get into this story today, man. And for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was sentenced to 16 years plus a life sentence. I ended up doing 24 years straight in some of these California prisons out here. And during that time, I accumulated some stories for y'all, and I'm about to hop into one right now. In 2018, I eventually was found suitable for parole, what they call it out here. I had life, so I had to go to the parole board. Once I was found suitable for parole, maybe a couple weeks before I was due to release, I had my ID right here. I took it and I hid it in some of my letters, and I went and told them that I lost my ID, so they had to give me another one. And so the reason why I brought this home is just to look at it from time to time, and keep myself mindful of where I've been and to never go back to that, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's hop into this story. Now, remember I told y'all back in about like 1989, I slapped this owner of a store across his head with a baseball bat. So they sent me to juvenile hall. While I was in juvenile hall, I ended up meeting this dude. For all intents and purposes of this story, I'm going to call him Crafty B. Now, Crafty B was facing a murder charge. I think he was about 17. And this was 89, and he never did get out. He ended up getting found guilty. So now, in 1996, when I went to the pen, I see a cat up in the child hall. And I'm looking at him like, hey, man, I know you from somewhere, And so we go to talk, and I said, man, oh, yeah, was you in Riverside? Was you in the juvenile hall? And so he said, yeah. And so it turned out to be Crafty B, you know what I'm saying? So we chop it up. We talked a day or two. So about on the third day, maybe somewhere around there, he happened to come to the chow hall. I guess he sees some dude. He said, hey, what's up, man? So I'm a bitch, huh? Boop, bop, boop, bop. He get off on him right there. You know what I'm saying? They had an impromptu meeting of the fist in the snot box. You know what I'm saying? He busts old boy up right there. So, they put the yard down. They put the yard down and shit, shot the block gun or whatever, and get them two up out of there. And I don't see him no more. So now come 2008, 2009, somewhere up in there, I'm at another prison, CMC East. And you know what I'm saying? He ended up showing up. You know what I'm saying? So now he's also from the county that I'm from. So we happen to ride in the same car. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we get to chopping and backing up. We talk, we talking and shit. Now, like I say, during this time, a whole lot of time has gone by. And I don't know if Crafty had always been crafty, but now I'm getting to see some of his moves, man. Crafty B is a real slick motherfucker. And like I was telling y'all, CMC is a different pen in a lot of ways. And one way is they got duckets there. Now, what duckets are, okay, when we go to commissary or canteen, we go outside the gate, we go to the main big store, we can shop. I think we could spend like $220. And we also was allowed 50 ducats each time we went to the store if we wanted. Now, what a ducat is basically is just $1. You know what I'm saying? They take money off your books, you buy 50 ducats. They give you purchase $50 worth of ducats, they'll give you 50 ducats. And 50 ducats, like I say, each one is just like a piece of paper. And what the ducats are intended for is on the yard, they have a mini canteen. And it's like a snack bar. And the snack bar sell potato chips, ice cream, candy, sodas, and things of that nature. But of course, by everybody having them ducats, the ducat also became a form of currency. Normally at other pens, people might trade stamps, soaps, food items that we can get from the store. But no, here at CMC, everybody wanted these ducats, you know what I'm saying? And which made it cool because it was a cool way to hustle and make money. Now, people would also go on visits and get a $100 bill or some cash. Now, when they would bring the $100 bill back in cash money, you could turn that $100 bill in for a person who was hustling or whatever and had a gang of ducats. And the going rate was about 170, 180 ducats, all depending on, what the going rate was on that yard. So like I say, instead of having your family send you money, some people would just get the money on the visit and they could even turn it into more money. You know what I'm saying? So people would do that. And like I say, by them ducats being so popular, it made the yard so much fun and cool because it was an economy going on. You even had a few dirty police men who would be taking ducats from people. They'd take ducats from people and they'd be selling them to the convicts they'd give the convicts 180, maybe 200 ducats, 250. They didn't give a fuck because it was a free $100 for them. Because like I said, a person is only allowed to have $50. You know what I'm saying? So it was a whole lot going on, man. So now I'm starting to see that old Crafty B got a few moves on him, man. Crafty B is like a real slick motherfucker. Now also how the prison is different. The prison, like I told y'all, is like a big old wagon wheel, man. It's the best way to describe it. When you go out the gate, it's like they call it the plaza. And they have A yard, B yard, C yard, and D yard. And it's like a big old circle. And so what's so different about this pen also, if you in another prison and your homie is on another yard, you'll never see him because he might be the yards might be 2-3 miles apart. And you got to go through gates and shit to get all to him. But here, all you had to do was walk out the gate. You flash your ID to the little screen like I'm doing here. Now it's a dude that sits in the middle of that wagon wheel. It's a control booth, and he's like 20 or 30 feet away from the gate. So basically, he's looking through the screen, and he'll see, now you hold your ID up. The ID is supposed to have like A, B, or C right here where this yellow thing is. And so he'd see what yard you was on, and he'd let you out. And then that was the same way that you get back in. You come to a turnstile. So you could also go to other yards. You could tell somebody, hey, man, you on A yard? Hey, let me get your ID. Let me get your ID. So he slides you the ID, and you just walk through the turnstile, flash your ID, and you'd be on that yard. Because each yard might have had, one day this yard might have all the drugs, all the weed, all the tobacco, or whatever. So one day, Crafty B makes his way to C yard. Now, at that particular time, C yard was dry when it came to tobacco. And like I told y'all, okay, maybe I didn't tell y'all, like around 2002, the prisons in California stopped allowing the prisoners to smoke. So of course, tobacco became a much sought after commodity. Like I was telling y'all in one of my other my videos that me and Scanners D, we used to go half on a can of tobacco for $500. So they used to sell pouches in the store. Now a pouch that used to be about maybe $1.50, $2, now it was $50. Because it was highly wanted and it was hard to get. So what old Crafty B do, he go over there, he knew somebody that was looking for some tobacco. So Crafty B said, yeah, man, there's somebody on our yard that's selling 3 pouches for $100. So give me $100 and I'll bring you back the pouch. So when old boy give Crafty B the $100, Crafty B come back to the yard. He knew somebody that worked in the program office. The program office is where the lieutenants, the captains, they up in there. They also have clerks, clerks who do the bed moves, control the shit like that. Also, if you get a disciplinary write-up, what's called a 115, the clerks type up the 115 and all that type of shit, So Crafty B knew somebody that worked up in there, so he went and told him, hey, man, look, I'm going to give you X amount of ducats, probably 15, 20 ducats, 30 ducats, type up a 115 with my name on it saying I got caught on a $100 bill. So the old boy types it, he types it up legitly, me, officer, such and such, on this date I caught whoop-de-whoop in the plaza. I searched him. He had $100 US currency on him. Now, the write-up is fake and it's bullshit, but the paper is real. You know what I'm saying? So what Crafty B do, he ended up taking the fake write-up back to the dude on C yard. Said, hey man, listen, man, when I was leaving with the $100 bill, I got pulled over in the rotunda, in the plaza, what they call it. They searched me and they found the $100 bill, man. So they took it. I don't have it, man. So I'll try to get it back to you when I can. Or whatever game he ran on him. Now, old boy who lost the money, he know this is true because he's seeing this 115. He don't know it's fake. And also he know that the guards be searching people in the plaza because they know people be going, from yard to yard selling drugs or doing this, got cigarettes, tobacco on them, all type of shit they not supposed to be doing. So like I say, man, old Crafty had moves like a motherfucker. So now when I say we, I'm talking about me, my homie Maurice Tazzy, man, T-Roll, rest in peace now, from Colton City. Me and him was cellies at the time, T-Roll was another, he always was making moves, man. He always had 1,000 get-rich-quick schemes now. So CMC East is a medium security prison, a level 3. But now CMC West is level 2. Now we had, and I really want to say it, but I don't want to expose it, but we had a way of getting tobacco from CMC West to CMC East. And at CMC West, the tobacco was much cheaper because CMC West was a minimum security yard. So a lot of those dudes, they had jobs where they would leave the grounds, the actual prison grounds, and go out to the park and be cleaning up and this and that. So they'd have people bring them, tobacco from the street. And so they bring it back to the yard, and it was cheaper on West Yard, but on East Yard, it still was, the prices was marked up. So we had a way of, we'd send ducats to the West Yard and get the ducats back. Now, unfortunately for us, we get the tobacco back. But now, unfortunately for us, the tobacco came through on a job that Crafty B was working. So Crafty B would get the tobacco and he'd bring the tobacco to me and my celly T-roll. Every time we got the tobacco was light, you know. Crafty B smoked cigarettes, and then, like I said, you can go sell the tobacco, get the ducats, you can do a whole bunch of shit, you know. Tobacco was the most sought after product up there, you know, more than weed, coke, any of that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? So every time he'd bring the shit, it would be light, you know. But what could we say? Because we still was making a killing, but we already knew that Crafty B, of course, he was, you know, he definitely was taking some and this and that. So at some point in time, I don't know what it was about, but I remember, you know, T-Roll and Crafty B, they fell out. Like I said, we all from the same collective, man. We all from the same county, so we all ran together. So it was some, you know, some petty bullshit. You know, both T-Roll and Crafty B, they both smoked cigarettes and they both gambled a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So they was good partners, but from time to time they fall out for a couple days, wouldn't be talking to each other over some small bullshit or whatever, you know. So now, like I say, we had put together this lick where we was getting this tobacco. And also my boy Crafty B, man, this dude was crazy. He was running around there at one point in time. He was running around there selling fake heroin. He had a little coffee and a few other little items. A couple of ingredients that he hooked up together and be selling it to motherfuckers, telling them it was heroin and shit. Now, you know, in the pen, playing with a motherfucker's high, that's a quick way to leave the prison way before the judge planned on you leaving. You know what I'm saying? Because a motherfucker will blast you out your boots if you playing with their money. But Crafty B, he took these motherfucking chances, and plus he knew the right motherfuckers to play these games with, or at least he felt he knew. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always a chance of a motherfucker, man, you know, going for broke when you didn't played him out of some of his money. But like I say, old Crafty B, he had the heart of a gunslinger, man. This motherfucker, he didn't give a fuck, you know. He stayed doing some slick ass shit up in there, you know. So anyway, look, this video was getting a little bit long, man. So I'm gonna hit y'all with part 2 in a minute. So pop back in with your boy, man. I'm right on it.